Hello besties, welcome back to Bookmas. Welcome to a really exciting video, probably one of my favorites that I'm about to film this entire year. I wanted to combine my two favorite hobbies. As of right now, it is baking and reading into one video. I didn't know how I wanted to do that because I knew I wanted to do a baking video of some sort for Bookmas, but I didn't know how to incorporate books into it. For today's video, I'm taking my top 2 reads of the year and I'm turning them into some baked goods. Like, am I about to be making like 100 cookies right now? Oh my god, I have dough on my pants. What made you want to start a YouTube channel? How much is in one packet of instant yeast? Cooking Mama prepared me for this. Okay, Chris is taking over. Got it all over my phone. I don't even feel like measuring that. I'm literally just gonna pour some of this.
Where Percy Jackson lives.
I went through like a little bit of research of what type of baked goods I wanted to make for these books and what kind of made sense with them, and I'm so excited for what I have today. I have all my ingredients laid out on the counter. First, I'll show you what books that we'll be baking into baked goods and then what we'll be baking for them and why I chose those. Before I get into the books and the baking and everything, I did ask you guys on my Instagram story to send in some questions, so I'm not gonna answer questions while we bake because I just can't multitask. I'll just answer questions and then not get any baking done. So while they're in the oven or while I'm eating them, at some point during this video I'm going to be answering some questions just to make it fun. Into the 2 books we'll be using for today's video are 2 of my favorites of the entire year. It was hard to choose which ones I wanted to bake, but I think these are good contenders and also, again, 2 of my favorite books of the year. First one is no surprise to probably anyone, and that is The Winners by Frederick Bachman. This is the 3rd book in the Beartown trilogy. I actually read this in January, which is crazy that it's still one of my favorite books of the year. And then the second one is one that I just didn't expect to love so much, but I have not stopped thinking about it since reading it, and that is The Bright Years by Sarah DeMoff. This is a debut author, debut novel. It's like a generational family story. It is so beautiful. It is so good. I just knew I wanted to do something with these 2 books. So these are the ones we're going to be using today for inspiration for our baked stuff that we'll be making. I don't know which one we're going to bake first because I don't know how much time each one takes, so I feel like maybe I should check that out first. For The Winners, we're gonna make some cinnamon rolls. Now there's actually the name of a Swedish cinnamon roll that I looked up, and I actually looked into how to make them, but I couldn't find one of the ingredients for them, which I think is like pearled sugar or something like that they top it with, and then twisting them around and like shaping them into like the Swedish dessert. Seems a bit too complicated. Like, I'm not that far into my baking career and I didn't want to mess it up, but in honor of the Swedish cinnamon rolls that they have, I'm gonna be doing just like normal cinnamon rolls, and that is because The Winners and Beartown takes place in Sweden, and also Frederick Bachman is from Sweden, so I wanted to do something like that, and I know I'm not doing the exact Swedish dessert, but it's in honor of that. For The Bright Years, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with this one because obviously for The Winners I used the setting as inspiration. This one I'm using the cover for some inspiration, so we're gonna make some sugar cookies, but we're gonna decorate the top of them with the frosting and make them the colors of the cover of this, so it'll kind of match the cover. I thought that could be fun, just going off The Bright Years. There'll be some bright sugar cookies, and I have not made sugar cookies yet, just in general with my KitchenAid, so I'm very excited about that. I also have not made cinnamon rolls, so new stuff to me. It's all gonna be from scratch. Like I said, I've been really loving baking recently, so I'm excited to combine the 2 things, and that's what we'll be doing today. We are going to start off with the sugar cookies, I think, because I need to let the dough chill for a little bit, and then we'll get into the cinnamon rolls, which I had to find. I literally scoured 2 supermarkets this morning for just like a fast rising yeast, because all the recipes I was looking at, they wanted me to rise the bread and the dough for like so many hours, and I was like, guys, I don't have time for this. So I found instant yeast. Never used this before, so it'll be new for all of us. We're starting with the sugar cookies though because I think it'll take the most time, but I'm so excited. We're gonna do baking first, then questions and tasting after. Sugar cookie dough. It was actually really easy to make, but the amount of flour that you have to add is questionable. Like, that's a lot of flour. It's like 3 cups and like 3 1/4 cups of flour, and it felt like a lot, But I knew there's gonna be a lot of sugar next to it's a sugar cookie and a lot of butter, because I feel like that's what makes the sugar cookie. I just never made it before, and I was like, that feels like a lot of flour. Like, am I about to be making like 100 cookies right now? I also didn't buy any cookie cutters. I couldn't find any at the supermarket, so I think I'm just gonna use something circular, maybe a cup or something. I didn't know what shape I wanted to do, but since on the cover of the Bright Years, there's a little circle over there. I think it's like the sun that they're holding, so I'm just gonna do circle one. So that kind of matches the book, and I feel like that's easy because I have cups that are circular. I think right now I'm gonna make the frosting just so I have it on the side for when that's all ready, so the sugar cookies are kind of done for right now. Clean up my station, start on the cinnamon rolls. Maybe we can chat a little bit while we're doing the cinnamon rolls. I'll try my best. Maybe we can go through a couple questions at least. Maybe we can do a couple questions after I clean before we start the cinnamon rolls, so we have some questions between each section of our baking video. So I'm gonna do the frosting first and clean, and then actually maybe we can do some Q&As while I make the frosting. The frosting can't be that hard. I think it's just like powdered sugar and butter, I think, and then I could just like dye it different colors. I don't know, we'll see. Actually, I just realized I need my KitchenAid, and it's in the fridge right now, so I need to put the dough in a different bowl, clean that, make the frosting, and then I'll get back to you. I didn't realize talking and baking, it's kind of hard. I can't multitask like that. We've run into a problem. I don't have enough powdered sugar for anything. I think I'm only gonna make a little bit of frosting. I just wasted some because I did the recipe wrong and now it's not mixing. It's stressing me out. This has never happened. It's just chunky. I think I put too much butter, but then I followed the recipe like directly, so I'm not really sure what's happening. I think I have to dump this and start over, which is not fun. And I also don't have that much vanilla left, so I should have prepared. I thought I had enough of those two, but apparently I don't. So I'm gonna go figure this out, and then we'll answer some questions before we start our next one. I ended up going to the supermarket to get more powdered sugar, more vanilla extract. I don't remember what else I got, but I ran over because I was like, I don't have enough to do the rest of my dessert, so I had to go get some more, and I'm glad I did because then I made the frosting again and it worked. I came back and I was so overstimulated. I was like, let me get this frosting done. I did that and I put them into separate bowls and I made 3 different colors, but I guess the food dye I got were kind of like neon, so I had to do some mixing. I feel like I was back in like art class in like 4th grade where you're like learning the color wheel and what colors to mix together to make all the different colors. So I feel like I made cute ones. They look like Easter colors, like they're very pastel, but I had the book next to me and I was like, I think these will work. Now we're taking a break. I actually had to change my shirt because I soaked my entire shirt when I was washing the dishes, and then I just soaked my pants again, but I'm not changing again. We're done for right now. I'm gonna answer a few questions before we get on to the cinnamon roll, so I'm excited about this. I said, ask me anything, bookish or not, so I have no idea what you guys have asked me, but we're about to find out. I don't know how many I'm gonna oh my god, I have dough on my pants. Oh, also, before I answer questions, I made the frosting and I went to go grab everything that I needed to clean and bring them over to the sink, and I saw 2 eggs sitting there, and then I looked over to the ingredients I needed for the what am I making? Sugar rolls. What are they called? Cinnamon rolls. I looked over to those and I looked down, there's 3 eggs there, so I was like, okay, my sugar cookies don't have eggs in them. I completely missed the step, so I googled it and they were like, you can add eggs after, it's just gonna change the texture of it, and I was like, you know what, I have nothing else to lose, so I added the eggs to it, and now it's very, very sticky. If any of you are actual bakers, I'm so sorry. I'm a novice at this. I'm so new to it. It's just fun to do, but I never said I was good at it. So that's what happened while I was not filming. But let's answer some questions now. I'm just gonna answer maybe like 5 to 10 before we get into our next baking. What's a book that surprised you this year? I feel like a lot of them surprised me. A lot of my 5 stars I didn't expect to give 5 stars. Like The Bright Years was a surprise to me, and also Slanting Towards the Sea was a really big surprise. I did not expect to love that one as much as I did. There were just such niche interests in the book that I liked personally, like the second chance. The writing style was beautiful, and I just loved our main character because she was really, really vulnerable, very real, and I loved that book. And it was a debut book too, so that one surprised me. I don't know what else surprised me. I would say The Secret History surprised me. I went into that one not knowing if I was gonna like it or be interested in it, but I ended up really enjoying that one, and that book has intimidated me for years now. How did you and Chris meet? The full love story. I guess I could do a long story short. My best friend growing up ended up moving to the block that I lived on, and Chris was friends with her brother, so I would hang out with her all the time. I'd hang out with Chris, we all became friends, and then it all just started from there. So I guess it could be like best friends, brothers, best friend. What's the trope? I don't know. Friends to lovers, I guess is what our trope would be. What made you want to start a YouTube channel? Honestly, I think I was just bored. I had no hobbies. I was just at school, and it was like right when I graduated. All my friends were at school. I was lonely, and I was like only watching YouTube. I was either going to class or watching YouTube, and I got so interested in how people like edit videos, specifically like Emma Chamberlain, like that type of editing. So I taught myself, and I was like, you know what? I'm bored, I got nothing to lose, and I need a hobby. I need something to do to fill my time. So I started making videos, and that's kind of where it sparked, I guess. And not like getting into books for a while, but at least just like getting into YouTube. That's kind of how I started. I think I was just bored and lonely and needed an outlet. So I tried YouTube, and I'm very, very glad that I did. It was a very low point in my life, but something amazing came out of it, and I'm very happy about that. Do you stick to a workout plan, or do you do whatever you feel like that day? I used to stick to a workout plan. It was just really strictly Pilates. I would go like 4 or 5 times a week, but now it's whatever I feel like when I wake up, or if I'm now getting back into Pilates, if I'm gonna plan a class. I'm not going as often now, but I usually wake up and it's like, okay, maybe I should just walk a little today. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to work out, or I'll go downstairs. We have a gym in the apartment building, and I'll just do a little bit of weightlifting. It's really whatever I'm feeling that day. The train's here. I'm talking over it now though, but yeah, it's really whatever I'm feeling now, whether I want to work out or not, and then what type of workout. But I feel like I have a good balance now of knowing what my body wants me to do and not like being strict about it. I tried to do that 75 soft earlier this year, and I really like doing that, so I would like to do that after the holidays again, maybe the beginning of the year, because I loved the way I just like felt and like mentally and everything. It was just a really good routine that I got myself in, and I definitely fell off of that, even just like water intake. So I'd like to do that again, but I think it's just now it's not really much of a routine. It's really whatever I'm feeling like that day. Favorite new author of the year? I honestly might say Sarah DeMoff, and I've only read one of her books, so I don't know if that counts, but honestly, I think I might say her, and she has a new book coming out next year. I think it comes out either the day before or on my birthday, and I'm so excited about it. I'm gonna be the first person at Barnes & Noble getting that book. I don't even remember what it's about, but I think anything she writes now, I'm gonna be reading, because I just loved that book so much, and her writing is what really made me love it. So I'm gonna say her. What are your go-to clothing stores? Honestly, right now I'm loving Gap. There's a Gap that's close to us, and there's always a sale going on, and they have cute like sweat sets, but they have cute sweaters, jeans, like they really have everything over there. Or usually if I'm shopping online, it's probably like Aritzia or Princess Polly. Whenever I like have somewhere to go, I always look at Princess Polly first, because they have something for literally everything. Favorite part about moving and having a new space? Honestly, probably being able to see Chris as much as I do. We used to see each other a lot, but like now it's obviously consistently every single day, almost all day, unless he's at work, but we can like do more things together. We like align our schedules, and we're like doing everything together, and I think it's just so much fun. So I think just living together in general has been my favorite part. What made you fall in love with books, and how did you transition from lifestyle content? I read when I was little, and then I stopped for a while, and I think I started up maybe like 2019 time. I just had like random books in my room, and I just started reading them, and then I loved one of them, and then I was on a roll after that. I was like, okay, I need to read more, and then COVID happened, so I was reading a lot during that time. And I think while I was doing YouTube during that time, I did like vlogs and stuff, and in those vlogs I would talk about the books that I'm reading, but I didn't think anyone cared. It was just like what I was doing in those vlogs, so people were asking about it, and I was like, I'm not gonna do a full video on books. Like, I'll just post it if you guys want to know, like on my story. I got so many requests for a book video. I was like, okay, if you guys would like that. And then I did one, and it did really well, and I was so happy. That's something that I like doing as a hobby. I can make into videos, so I kind of switched over to that. I did like mostly lifestyle, and did like one book video a month, and then I slowly started just doing book videos, because those were my favorite to film and my favorite to do. And now I kind of do both, but mainly book stuff, obviously. But I think that's how I like transitioned into it. Like slowly started because people were asking about it, and then I found out that there's a whole book community, and I kind of just like started from there. If you didn't do booktube, what job you think suits you? I honestly think I would do something in social media, like content creation of some sort, because I was gonna be doing that for a company. I was gonna do their socials and stuff, so I think I would have slowly gone into that, hopefully. And then I think it would have been cool to get into like the managing side of like social media stuff, because I think that's really cool. But I think I would have been doing it for like someone else or another brand or company or something with social media and like marketing, because that was my major in college, was marketing, and I was really interested in like the social media aspect of it, so I kind of used that, I guess, for my job. But I think I would have been doing it for someone else instead of myself, and I would have really enjoyed it, because I like to be creative in that way. And I did it for a brand for an internship during college, and it was really, really fun. So probably that. Any trips planned for 2026? I think Danny and I really want to go back to Nantucket, but instead of doing the Rhode Island Nantucket, we just want to spend a few days longer in Nantucket. It was our favorite trip ever. We're still talking about it. We've been like trying to plan it every time I see her, and I think we're gonna do it maybe sometime over the summer next year. It was our favorite trip, and we keep talking about it. It's like the best place ever, so I think we're gonna go back there. But I don't know anything else or anywhere else. I'll probably end up going to Florida at some point, but I think that's all I have like kind of planned right now. Favorite song from the new Five Sauce album? I don't even know if I can pick anymore. At first I had like a ranking of what my favorites are, but now I just kind of listen to all of them, like no skips anymore. But right now if I was to like get in the car and pick one, that's my favorite to listen to is probably Chest. That's been my favorite for a while. That one and Wishful Dreaming. And I'm Scared I'll Never Sleep Again. That's been my favorite since my first listen on the album, but Chest and Wishful Dreaming really grew on me, and I love those. But I listened to all of them. I think it's like one of my favorite albums from them, and I can't wait to see them next year in concert. It's gonna be the best birthday ever. It's the day before my birthday, and I'm so excited. How do you feel your taste in books is changing? This is a great question because I feel like I'm just like noticing this so much recently, and over the past, I guess, few weeks or months of what I've been like gravitating and wanting to read. I think it's really just like picking up books now that I'm more interested in. I used to, I think, read books that I saw other people were liking, and even if our tastes weren't similar, it's like a lot of people like that book, so I was like, okay, maybe I should read that, maybe I'll like it. But now I think I'm picking up books that sound interesting to me, whether anyone has read it or not, and I found some like really amazing books that way, and not just reading books because it's like popular, which I will be reading probably popular books because it's fun to like talk about it and be in the know of what everyone else is reading. But I think just like slowly getting into more books that catch my eye and are on like more of my radar and things that like align with my reading taste. And that's been making for some really cool 5 stars this year because I found some that I've never heard of, including like Slanting Towards the Sea. I always go back to that one. It's like one I've literally never heard of, but picked up because it had some stuff that I was interested in, and it was so good. And I need to stop looking at Goodreads ratings, because even if a book is not highly rated, doesn't mean I won't like it, because everyone has different reading tastes, and I think I'm discovering that. So it's more so just picking books that are interesting to me, rather than like seeing them online, other people loving them, unless we have like very similar tastes. I think that's the key. And it's like I know what I like in like the 5 stars that I have, so I kind of look for that when I'm looking for another book that I'll like. But I think I'll read anything at this point other than nonfiction. But yeah, I think I'm just like trying to find books that interest me and like my reading taste. Okay, let's do one more and then we're gonna start on the cinnamon rolls. If you could have dinner with any famous person, alive or not, who would it be? I don't even know if I could choose. I don't think I can choose like a Harry Styles because I think I'd be too nervous to do anything. It'd have to be someone that I like/love, but not to that extent, because I don't think I'd be able to have a conversation. Maybe Gracie Abrams. I feel like we can get along, and I would love to have a dinner with her and just talk to her, because she's like, I think around my age, and I love her, so I think we'd have a good dinner, and I think I'd pick her. My number 1 choice is Harry Styles, but I don't think I could do that. I think I could be cool around Gracie, so I'm gonna choose her. It's time to make our next dessert. We're gonna get into our cinnamon rolls. I don't think this is gonna take as long as the sugar cookies because those are in the fridge for a little bit, but with this one we have to make the dough, the filling, and the frosting. So thank God I got more powdered sugar, because I would not have had frosting, and that's like one of the best parts of a cinnamon roll. How much is in 1 packet of instant yeast? 2 1/4 teaspoons. 1, 2 1/4. Cooking Mama prepared me for this. Oh! I lost the egg yolk. Saved it. Oh. I was supposed to do that separately. Knead the dough for 5 minutes? I'll be here. It smells good. The smell is so good. I love bread. Do I like really have to do this for 5 minutes, do you think? I'm not. Dough is done. Now we do the cinnamon sugar, which is fun. 1 cup brown sugar. That's a lot. Oh, that's not brown sugar. This is brown sugar. It smells so good. Oh, I love brown sugar. 3 tablespoons of cinnamon. That makes more sense. I'm literally cooking on top, or I'm mixing on top of the book right now. Like, why am I doing that? Why is the bowl on top of the book? I don't know. It's a mess over here. We should start rolling the dough out. Thank God when I went back to the grocery store to get the powdered sugar, I saw a rolling pin because I didn't own one. And what did I think I was gonna do? I could have used a wine bottle. That could have worked. But I bought one, so this will make my life a lot easier. This is actually really fun. I'm kind of enjoying this. I feel like I'm making a pizza right now. A rectangle. Oop, I have a circle. Brush the melted butter on top of the stretched dough. Okay, let me melt some butter. How much melted butter? All right, it's come to my attention I don't have a brush for this, so I'm just gonna use a spoon and pour this butter on there. Well, that works. Okay, I have to roll this dough now and also cut it with some, was it floss? No, just a string. I don't have a string, so we're just gonna use a knife. I feel like that potentially should work, but I'm scared about this rolling thing. I'm pretty sure people put it on like a parchment and use that to roll it, but I think I'm just gonna wing it. That looks great. We're making the frosting now. The good part, oh, I have to clean the bowl, hold on. What I was going to say is that the cookies and the cinnamon rolls both cook on the same temperature in the oven, so that's a win for me. We're gonna make the frosting now. So I think this should be easy. I don't know, I say that about everything and then somehow I have a hard time doing it. Okay, 6 tablespoons of cream cheese. I personally hate cream cheese, but cream cheese frosting is good. 6 tablespoons of butter softened. I got that. 2 cups of powdered sugar. Thank God I got more. Ooh, uh-oh. I'm about to spill this whole entire thing. 1, 2, just got it all over my phone. I need an apron. That's what I need. I need an apron. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. 3 tablespoons of water. I don't even feel like measuring that. I'm literally just gonna pour some of this. That feels right. Everything's in the oven right now. I need everyone to lower their expectations for the sugar cookies. I'm gonna have to do another go at this, or try another go at, what's the term? Give it another go, because they were so sticky. I should not have added the extra egg and just had dry sugar cookies, but you just learn from these mistakes. Now it's a lesson. I'll never do that again. I'll never forget eggs in my sugar cookies, but they're in the oven right now. Fingers are crossed that they're at least edible, and then so are the cinnamon rolls. The cinnamon rolls look really, really good, honestly. Patting myself on the back for that. They look great. And then I made the cream cheese frosting too, like you guys saw. So let's answer some questions while they're baking. My phone is also filthy because I've just been cooking all around it, so I need to clean this. I'm getting a lot of, are you and Chris planning to get married and engagement questions? Yes, we're planning to get married. I think it's funny because I posted a TikTok. I was going to some event and I had a really like nice dress on, and someone said that they were like thinking it was an engagement. And you shouldn't comment that on people's posts, because then you ruin the surprise, because in the back of their head they're like, oh wait, is that what's happening? And I told Chris, the one thing I would like to be surprised on is the engagement. So don't comment, I think this is an engagement, I think it's happening, because then you ruin the surprise, because it's supposed to be something special. So we are planning on it. Don't know when, don't have a timeline for that, but we are. We would like to get married one day. If someone wanted to get to know you through 3 books, what books would you say? That's a great question. I think I would say, I don't know, I don't want to keep picking the 2 books that we're using for this video, but I would probably say an Emily Henry book, maybe Funny Story. I would say Beartown, because I think just that writing style I feel like is one that I love. And I feel like you can kind of get a taste for what I like in my like writing style, because Frederick Bachman is just so unique and I love it. Like I can read anything he writes. So I would say a Frederick Bachman book, probably Beartown, maybe even My Friends. And then probably, I don't know if this is like get to know me personally or like my reading taste, but if it was my reading taste, I think I would say, I don't know, either 6 of Crows, because I feel like a fantasy type of read, that's my favorite, or Slanting Towards the Sea, because that's like a romance type of like fiction like mix, like a genre mix of like romance and fiction that I really, really liked. So I feel like if you want to know my reading taste, I would say those. What did I even say? Funny Story, a Frederick Bachman book, and Slanting Towards the Sea. I feel like that really depicts it. I'm getting so many questions on like furniture links. If you want to know, majority of the things that I could have linked, they're in my ShopMy, which is linked in the description of my videos, but most of like the bigger pieces, like our couch was from West Elm, our like headboard set was from Restoration Hardware, my couch from my book room was a gift from Pottery Barn, but everything else should be linked on my ShopMy. Most of it is from Amazon, and our rugs were, I think it was Rugs USA. They had like a huge sale when we were moving out, so we got that from there, but majority of things are either from Amazon or we got a lot from Walmart too, and Home Goods. So that's like majority of the places we got all of our stuff from. A book or series you read that you didn't want to read that ended up pleasantly surprising you. I have to say The Will of the Many. That's a book that intimidated me so much, and then eventually put it on my TBR, but even when I put it on my physical TBR, I still didn't want to pick it up because of how lengthy the book is, and I didn't know if I would like it. But that was such a surprising like 5-star of mine. I did not expect to give it a 5-star. I have not really been into fantasy, which I would like to try again to get into it. I don't know, I don't think I want to read romantasy specifically. I think I read enough romantasy that I liked the ones that I read when I did read them, but I think I want to move over to maybe like not just high fantasy, but fantasy that has maybe a romance subplot, but not specifically romantasy. I don't think I like that too much anymore. I feel like they're very repetitive and it's usually the same things, but I would like to get more into fantasy. So if you have any recommendations of fantasy books that maybe have a subplot of romance but have really cool like world building politics stuff, let me know. But yeah, The Will of the Many was the answer to that question. I don't know how I got there, but what book characters do you feel like you relate to the most? I always say this, Georgia from the X-Files, like that is me in a book. A lot of Emily Henry characters I see myself in, like Daphne from Funny Story and also Harriet from Happy Place. I feel like I can see myself in some of them. But X-Files, the female main character from that one, I just felt so connected to her because I was like, we feel the same things. And I loved that. It's really nice when you're reading a book and you can connect in that way, because sometimes you can't put your thoughts and feelings into words, and when an author can do that, it's so special. So that's why I love that book. Honestly, it's Second Chance, which is one of my favorite tropes in a romance, but yeah, I really connected to her. How do you and Chris balance your respective careers whilst maintaining your relationship? I work for myself, and technically Chris does too. He's a realtor, so he has like a team and he has a boss and everything like that, but technically he does work for himself, so we're both self-employed. That's where it gets a little bit tricky because our hours are very like confusing. Like I could be working like all day long, I could be working for like half a day, or he could be having a showing late at night, or someone's calling him after they get out of work about a house or whatever. So there's always like something with work going on, but we like to just like make a time where it's like no work is happening, we're focusing on us. And I think that's important because with our jobs it's like we could be working 24/7 and you need to have like a work-life balance, especially when you're in a long-term relationship. You need to make time for that, not just make time for like everything else, but like that specifically is very important. So we try to make time for our relationship aside from like everything else and everyone else, and I think it's worked well for us. I would say we're going on 8 years in December, which is crazy. What's your favorite thing about living in New Jersey? I love this question because you guys know I'm such a Jersey girl. There's so many things about Jersey that I love, and I feel like we get a bad rep because if you're not from Jersey, never been here, I feel like our reputation is kind of bad, especially because if you don't know about Jersey, the first thing you think of is like the Jersey Shore. But the Jersey Shore, like not the show, like the actual shore, is incredible. Like there's so many like shores you can go to. I love our beaches, I love our towns. We're so close to the city and so many other states and places that like you can get to pretty quickly, and I feel like that's nice. I just love it so much. I feel like we have great food, we have great beaches, we have all 4 seasons, which I like so much. Like I love a fall, I love a summer, I love a spring. I don't hate winter as much as I used to, but I do like the snow. I like when we're having like a cold Christmas, it just feels nice, and I love Jersey. Would you ever write a book? I don't think so. I have actually some ideas of like books and like what I would want to write, and like sometimes I'll think of something and I'll write it down, but actually executing a book, I don't think I could. I've never tried, but writing was like my least favorite thing ever during school. Like any type of essay, any type of anything of writing, I just like dreaded it. So I don't know if I'd ever be able to actually write a book. I could try, but I don't think it would be good, and I don't have any plans to do that, but I do have ideas that could be fun, but I don't think it's my expertise like at all. I could attempt at it, but I don't think it would be good. I would definitely have to be like working at it for a very long time, but I don't have like that skill that authors have, or like any type of writer. I just can't put like thoughts to words very good. Can you share your Spotify Wrapped? We have a guest here.
What's up, guys?
To share it. My top artist was Tate McRae, and I think my top song was I Told You Things by Gracie Abrams, which is a good song.
My top artist was Bad Bunny.
I'm not surprised at that. Chris listens to every single genre, but
Every single genre.
I knew that would be your top.
And my top song was Bad Bunny.
Which one was it?
DTMF, I believe.
Yeah, I like that one too. Is there anything new you and Chris have learned about each other since moving in together? Yeah, Chris doesn't sleep under a comforter.
I sleep very warm, so I sleep under a blanket usually. Last night I slept under a comforter.
Yeah, our comforter's good. We got a new set and it's actually so nice.
Shout out Brooklyn, and not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
They're amazing.
We love them. Is there anything that you've learned about me?
I mean, I've known her for a really long time.
I think you know everything. What about how you see?
She does not like alarms in the morning.
I hate them. He has them blasting because he won't wake up. Aw, do you miss the girls? I miss them every day, but I see them at least twice a week. And my mom sends videos of them like every single day. Okay, Chris is taking over.
Dream vacation, but to a book universe. Where Percy Jackson lives. Where do you get your fashion inspiration from? Anything that's black.
He has like 30 black t-shirts and he buys more. That's all he wears.
Favorite movie?
Mine's The Parent Trap or Mamma Mia.
It'd be Sandlot. Are you a cat person or strictly dog? Dog, but we're warming up to the idea of a cat.
Chris wants to get a cat, and he's always been opposed to the idea of a cat. But I don't think we're gonna be getting an animal or a pet anytime soon, just because I feel like it's nice to not have a pet right now, but eventually we'd like to. I've always wanted a golden retriever, and Chris has always wanted
one too.
No, but you wanted a
Staffy.
Our first dog will probably adopt and get like a pit bull of some sort because we want to do that, but eventually I would like to get a golden retriever. At some point in my life, I'd like to own one.
When is Chris going to propose? You'll have to wait and see. Favorite plans for 2026 so far? Waking up in Florida on January 1st, 2026. Favorite website to buy clothes? Lululemon. I have good tips and tricks too. Your biggest bookish icks. Ones that are this big. Like 700 pages.
I just read one that was so long.
How did you and Chris meet?
I already answered this one.
Friends of friends.
Yeah, I said we're friends to lovers. And now we're roommates.
What is your hair routine?
Chris is growing out his hair if you haven't heard him say that 100 times.
It's a little wonky right now. But I've been using conditioner and stealing Sarah's hair oil. Do you like Adele? Yes. I went to her concert once when I was a kid, and it was actually awesome.
I want to see her in concert really bad.
She has an amazing voice.
All right, let's take
I had fun hanging out with you guys today.
Everything's cooled off. I decorated the cookies. I think they look really cute. Here's the book and the cover of the book, and then the cookies. I only frosted 3 of them because I didn't know if they were ever gonna taste good, and I put my sprinkles on top, and the pink and the green and the yellow I think look really cute with the book. And then the cinnamon rolls look so good. I just put the frosting on like right when they came out, and that is in honor, obviously, of the winners. So let's do a taste test. I think I'm gonna try the cinnamon roll first just because I really want one. Oh wow, that is delicious. That is so good. These were easier to make than the sugar cookies too, and it had more steps because you have the filling, the frosting, and the dough. So much easier. And honestly, so happy I got the like active, like very fast rising yeast, because if I had to wait so many hours for that dough to rise, I don't have the patience for that. But this is delicious. I'm most nervous about the cookie because if you saw the dough when I was putting it in the oven, it was like wet, and I had to like push it down, and when I was pushing it down with kept getting stuck, so I had to add flour on top. But they don't look bad, like they came out fine. And the frosting though is delicious. The frosting recipe that I followed from that recipe of the sugar cookies, so good. Like I was just like eating the frosting while I was waiting. But here's our green cookie. It has some sprinkles on it. I put stars on it. So let's see how this tastes. I'm very nervous about this. I have a feeling it's not gonna be good. Hold on. I can't taste the cookie because the frosting is so good and I taste that, and that's delicious. I can't tell if the cookie's good, so let me get a piece of the cookie. The cookie's good. It's more cakey than a cookie, but honestly, it's pretty good. Wait, this is actually really good. It's not the best sugar cookie. It tastes more like a cake than a cookie, but they're way better than I thought they were gonna be, and honestly, I feel like I slayed that. That is the end of today's video. Thank you for coming along with me baking. I had some mishaps, but honestly, I think it came out pretty good, and I love the little frosting decorated cookies. I think I'm gonna frost and decorate a few more of them. I'll leave the links to the recipes in the description, like I said, if you want to try them out. And this is your sign to read 2 of my favorite books this year. This is the 3rd in the trilogy, but highly recommend the trilogy. And then this book is just like phenomenal. It is such a beautiful, wonderful, heartbreaking, but it's so good. Thank you guys for coming along with me today, baking and just chatting, answering some questions. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you did. I hope you're enjoying Bookmas, and thank you for watching. I'll see you hopefully tomorrow for our next day in Bookmas, and have a wonderful day.